Welcome back to the channel, guys. Back with another video, and today we want to talk about the Mbappe transfer saga that's going on down in PSG. Not just transfer saga, just like the whole saga going on down there in PSG, and how it can actually benefit the Premier League, right? So we did some critical thinking, and obviously everybody and their mother knows that Mbappe wants to go and play for Real Madrid. This has been like a decade long thing. He's been a Ronaldo fan his whole life. Always wanted to be in Real Madrid, whatever it is, right? Don't care about that. It's just whatever Mbappe wants. But the issue is that Nasser Al Khalifi is taking issue with that. Mbappe is in the last year of his deal, and the issue is that PSG wants Mbappe to sign an extension, and Mbappe does not want to sign that extension, right? So it has been like a whole thing, um, a whole spectacle, I guess, and they're doing it out in the open, which is crazy. So Mbappe made some comments. It wasn't an interview like a long time ago, I guess, but the comments just came out. Mbappe made some comments about receiving criticism and all that, and how he does not get like the notoriety that he deserves, or just paraphrasing, but like what he deserves. And he's like, how Ronaldo and Messi, he used to do the same to them, so I guess he gets it and stuff. And he's saying that PSG, um, playing for PSG does not help. You understand all that. PSG is not like, even though they are a rich club, they're not a storied club like your Real Madrids or your Liverpools or your Manchester Uniteds and stuff like that, right? So I guess Al Khalifi took like exception to that and said that if he feels that way, why doesn't he just leave? So it's just like a huge thing. But Al Khalifi like made gave him an ultimatum basically. It's either he signs the extension to stay at PSG, or he leaves, because at no he in Al Khalifi's words, he's saying that at no point do we just let our star players go on a free, and I understand that, you know. So the point is, this is the summer that Mbappe may be leaving PSG because he doesn't want to sign said extension. So PSG will look to sell him this summer before his contract is up, because you're not letting him go on a free. I think that, and not just I think, Mbappe himself, I think Mbappe wants to go on a free. He wants to go on a free so he can choose wherever he wants to go, as well as be paid extremely high, because the money that you'd use for the transfer for Mbappe, now that would, a piece of that now would go into actually um by actually like paying his wages, and like the commission and stuff to his agent and his family and all that. So yeah, that the dark side of football that we don't really want to talk about. um but yeah, stuff like that. But what I want to talk about though is how the Mbappe saga benefits the Premier League. So I did some critical thinking, um and I looked at it from a holistic perspective, and I'm like, okay, Mbappe doesn't sign with PSG, obviously he's going to Madrid. The amount that he'll cost now would be in the 200 million range, unless PSG comes down off that, but I don't think that they will. But it'll be in the 200 million range, and the only club that he wants is Real Madrid. I think, I mean, I'll get to the rest of that later, but yeah, the only club that he wants is Real Madrid, or it's perceived that the only club that he wants is Real Madrid, right? So for Real Madrid to get him, for them to get the funds now to get Mbappe, they'd have to let go of some midfielders. Real Madrid have a surplus of midfielders. I think they have like 8 senior midfielders right now at the club, and you don't need that many. You need like 6 or 7. So like 2 of those midfielders would have to probably leave, and the ones that are like surplus to requirements are Valverde and Chomeni, right? Especially now that they just got Gulel, the kid from Turkey. They just got him. So the rest, Chomeni and Valverde are really surplus to requirements. Um, so in order to fund the transfer for Mbappe, Chomeni and Valverde would have to leave, and where would they be going? Obviously, they'd be coming to the Premier League, whether that be Liverpool, Arsenal. I think that those two are the two major players for those two players, Liverpool and Arsenal, and then you have Man City in the mix, always because they're greedy bastards. Just yeah, Man City in the mix. You have United, I guess, in the mix, but United have not been making any signings really. Mason Mount does not count, trust me. Um, yeah, United haven't been really making any signings. You know how it is with the Glazers already. So United fans don't get your hopes up. Just telling you that from now. And then you also have the player in Newcastle. Don't forget Newcastle, all right? But can you imagine getting so many? So let's look at Liverpool, for example, since that's my club. But if Liverpool can land Chomini or Valverde, then our midfield will be complete. And I think that that's the reason why we have pulled out of the Turam and Lavia deals, because we know that on the horizon, Chomini or Valverde will be surplus requirements for Real Madrid, and they'll have to let them go, let one or two of them go. So I think that's what's happening. But can you imagine a midfield with Fabinho, Chomeni, um, Fabinho or Chomeni? You have Valverde there. You have Curtis Jones there, who's amazing, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there. Curtis Jones is the truth. Just saying that. But anyway, yeah, you have Valverde, Curtis Jones, you have Elliott, who can play in mid or on the right wing. You have Sobozlai, who can do the same, right? You have McAllister, you have Henderson coming back looking jacked, ripped. Yeah, just going to put that out there still. I'm saying that Henderson, yeah, is there. You know, you have a lot of these midfield players out there who would basically be rebuilding our midfield. And I also look at Arsenal. If Arsenal got, let's say, so many, then that midfield is looking right, to be honest, because that's Declan Rice holding as well as Chomini holding. You have Thomas Partey there. You have Odegaard. It's a good midfield. I think Arsenal would be up there. They'd probably prefer getting Valverde, I guess, than Chomini, but because Declan Rice would be holding, and then you have Valverde on one side, you have Odegaard on the other side. It's a good midfield rebuild right there for Arsenal. So it's either Liverpool or Arsenal. But then you have Man City, and they're greedy, very greedy, and they'll just do things just because. All of their midfield players right now are probably better than Valverde and Chomini, because Rodri is better than Chomini. De Bruyne has been, for me, it has always been De Bruyne and Van Dijk as the two best in the world, but Van Dijk has fallen off a little bit. Um, Last season, since the injury, really and truly. He's still amazing to me though. And I thought that Van Dijk was getting back to his best at the end of last season, but nobody talks about it. But we'll move on. We'll just see this season. But yeah, just speaking on De Bruyne, De Bruyne is going to be like a top three player in the world at any point in time. So they have a good midfield already. They basically run the midfield, like in the world and so. But yeah, they're greedy, so they'll get one of them just because. Um, and I think Man United should try and go after one of these, especially not just one of these. I think Man United should really try and go after Chomini. I think that midfield that they have is actually weak, because it's just Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes, and Mount. But when I say weak, I don't mean weak in terms of quality, because those are good players, right? I mean weak in terms of physicality. They don't have like a strong. It's just Casemiro there, and even Casemiro fell off of it a bit last season. I mean Jordan Henderson overran that midfield, and we won 7-0. I have to take shots, but it's just the facts, right? So yeah, um, I just look at it critically. I think that the Mbappe transfer or the Mbappe saga would be good for the Premier League. So let's see what happens. Oh, I also said I should talk about Newcastle. Hey, Newcastle are really signing players in this. Newcastle has the money right now. They're backed by the state, by Saudi Arabia. And they just signed Tonali. So a midfield of Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, and let's say Valverde, or Bruno Guimaraes, because he's versatile. He can play in central midfield or DM, most central midfield. Though. But can you imagine like a midfield of Bruno Guimaraes, um, Tonali, and Valverde, or Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, or Chomeni? That's a good midfield. That's if the player wants to move there, because even though Newcastle is in the Champions League now, um, it's still like the state of the club. You know, players still have to get like their minds right to go and play. But money always talks, so money will do that for you. But yeah, that's the video today. You know, just for you guys to think about it. And the Premier League will probably be really stacked next season. It's going to be very fun to watch, just to see who gets those top five places next season. So, yeah, thanks again for watching and peace.